What's going on, everyone at BiggerPockets? This is Brandon, and I am going to give you a tour of my new vacation rental property. This is just, we've been working on this property for a while, and in fact, I did a tour here on Facebook Live back, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, and it was still in the rehab process. This has been a fairly slow rehab only because it's been our side project whenever we're not working on other flip stuff. So anyway, I want to give you a tour real quick and around. Let me show you what we're dealing with. So this is the house right here. It is located in the town of Aberdeen, Washington, which is not exactly a tourist town per se, but I can tell you more of my philosophy about that. Basically, my thinking is, there's a lot of hotels in town. Obviously, they're making a profit, and there are virtually no vacation rentals in this town. I mean, really hardly any. For a town of, I don't know, 30, 40,000 people, and no vacation rentals, but I don't know, a dozen hotels. My thinking is just it hasn't come here yet. And so I'm gonna try it out, I'm gonna test it, and if it works, great. If not, you know, I wasted a few $1,000s on furniture and I'll turn it into a normal rental. So, all right, Josh said wind is making it hard to hear. Well, let me go inside. So this is the house right here. We kept the front door, we kept the siding, just gonna clean things up a little bit, and painted the ceiling and the door kind of a cool blue color. So let's go inside. Alright, so this is the new vacation rental. It's 99.9% done. I still got I was here today just checking it out. There's a couple little things to do, but this is the living room. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. Hoping to rent it for, on average, $125 a night. I think I'll have to work up to that. I'll be listing it on Airbnb, HomeAway, and some of those other sites soon. What's up, Shane Newbanks? And anybody else who's watching this, hey, my wife joined. Julia, what's up, Brandon? Hey, what's going on? Josh Dorkin is here, which is awesome. Josh Dorkin. If you guys didn't watch our fight, me and Josh had a fight. It's on our Facebook page. You guys take a look at it. Brendan said, love you guys. You and Josh are an inspiration. Hey, that's very nice to say. Can't get enough of your podcast. Thanks. Soren, what's up? Jesse, what's up, everyone? Hey, you guys, do me a quick favor. If you're enjoying Facebook Live videos, if you're enjoying this walkthrough, give me a thumbs up. Click it 10 times. I like to see them come through, or a heart, those are good too. And it lets Facebook know, hey, this is a valuable video. We're gonna show it to more people. What's up, Shane and Justin? Hey, there's some thumbs up. Okay, let me give you a quick tour while I'm walking through this, and if you see things you like, give me a thumbs up. All right, so TV, I'm gonna hide this cord still. That's one of the things left to do. We're gonna actually put the hole in the wall so we hide the cord. And we got cable and internet coming here in the next couple days. Oh, Thorny is here. Thorny, what's up? Let's see. Walking through here. So the stuff we bought, most of this stuff came from places like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. That came from a friend of mine. We just put out on Facebook. Hey, does anybody have any extra furniture? Kevin said, nice house. Thank you. Hey, by the way, also guys, hi. If you guys enjoy this video as well, and you want to share it, I would love some shares, because shares tell Facebook that there's value here, and so the more value we get, the better. So, Zach said, didn't you do a before video? I did, yeah, months ago I did one. I like that couch. Yeah, this came from Costco. I didn't buy a lot of stuff new, but that came new from Costco. This came from a thrift shop, actually, these 2 table and chairs. That came from Ross. That came new. TV came new. Let's go down here to the hallway. Oh, so as a part of the vacation rental, we're gonna actually supply every single guest who comes here with 2 Snicker bars, 2 bottles of water that will have label on it. We're gonna take the label off the bottle of water and put our own label on that just says, please, enjoy our home, blah blah blah, and then it probably will say, and if you enjoy your experience, be sure to leave an honest review. Just something that people can take with them and be like a little wow factor, right? I'm a big believer in the wow factor, and so we're gonna do that. I don't have the budget, but that's gonna go right there, and maybe even a couple bags of chips. I mean, it's like $1 a guest. But I think it makes a big difference. So coming in here, we got 2 bedrooms that are pretty much identical. I mean, really almost identical. This is, by the way, Jesse Swaney just shared my video. Jesse, you are amazing. Carl said, Brandon's the man. Thanks. Jeffrey, what's up? All right, Zachary Gwynn just joined. If you guys don't know Zach, he's the best videographer in the world. He made that video that's on the Facebook page right now, BiggerPockets. Anyway, these are full-size beds. I would have actually gone a little larger, but all I could get, reasonably priced were full-size, not queen. So it's 4 inches shorter than a queen. I'm actually hoping that people don't mind that it's not a bigger bed. But anyway, bathroom turned out really nice, I thought. I really like the way this turned out. Tile got done in here. I thought it turned out pretty good. Little decorative thing around the edge. Courtney said, are we going to rent it the whole house or by the room? We're going to rent it by the whole house. So my hope is $125 a night. We're kind of going with, if you didn't notice, we're kind of going with the Pacific Northwest theme. So this is kind of a cool little thing my wife bought and got like pictures for. And so these are all Pacific Northwest photos of different things around our area. So there's like up in Seattle, the public market. There's the original Starbucks. There's like our beach, our trees, etc. So kind of cool. Coming down the hallway, this, like I said, the bedrooms are almost identical. Jesse said, did you do all the work yourselves? No, I actually did very, very little here. I mean, I staged it, but Joe, who is like my head maintenance guy, contractor, employee, he's amazing. He kind of led up the effort on this one. And like I said earlier, this project was largely, we've been working on this for 8 months now, and the reason why is because this was our, whenever we have time, we'll work on this property. I actually bought this house for $15,000. That's right. $15,000 at the courthouse. At the courthouse steps. So it was going through foreclosure. The person lost it. The opening bid was $15,000. I bid like $15,000 and like $1, and I got it. I had to pay cash for it, and then we rehabbed it while we weren't working on another project. So it's like, hey, we got a week off. We'll go put a week into this one, and we had 3 guys on our crew this year working on projects, and this is kind of what we did. Brendan asked, how many nights a month are you or renting? Are you? So I've never rented. This is brand new. This is actually going on Airbnb and HomeAway this week. So I have no idea, but I'm hoping to get at least 15 to 20 nights a month. If I can get 15 a month at, let's say, $100 to start with per night, that's $1,500. That's about where I would decide whether or not I want to keep this as a vacation rental or not. Because as a vacation rental, let's talk numbers real quick. So as a vacation rental, I can keep giving a tour while I talk. As a vacation rental, I have to pay the electricity, the cable, the internet, all that stuff. And water, the sewer, the garbage, the garage. We're still cleaning this out. This should be cleaned out today. But the garage should be all cleaned out. We might even paint those walls so they're all just white, maybe, like we did over here. So we have a little laundry. Anyway, so because I have to pay all those expenses with this property, I'm $1,500 is about my, I don't want to call it break even, but about the point where I say that it's worth doing a vacation rental or not. If I can get $1,600, great. If I only got $1,200 a month, well, I might as well just go rent it out of the rental for $800 to a tenant, and they can pay all their own stuff. So it's rainy because this is Washington, and this is what it always looks like. Julie asked, how much did the rehab cost? We're at about $30,000 on rehab, so I'm about 45 into the whole thing. I might be 50 by the time we're done with staging. I need to add up all those numbers still, but we'll have about right around 50,000 probably when I'm all done. It's probably worth like 75, 80. It's probably worth. And that said, this is way nicer than any property in this area for a 2-bedroom house. We're just capped because of appraisals. Like, this house is going to appraise as what other 2-bedroom houses are. So I wouldn't plan on flipping it. Andrea said, or Andrea, one of the two, said, nice, congrats. I always butcher that name. Malika said, where is this in Washington? So if you were to go straight from Seattle down to Tacoma and go another 45 minutes south, you get to Olympia, or half hour south of Tacoma is Olympia. And then if you were to go from Olympia to straight west towards the ocean. So I'm near the ocean. If you guys have seen the Twilight movies, if you know Twilight, like, Edward and Bella and all that, they live here. Like, this is their house. No, but they live in this area is where it takes place. I'm on the Olympic Peninsula. And so there's a little bit of tourism here because of that, is that people, especially in the summer, they travel the Olympic Peninsula. If you guys have never done that, it's amazing. You should do it. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So, got a property manager doing the turnover. So one of two things. I have a friend, he's a friend, Joe, the guy who modeled this house. His wife actually does that for a job. She's a house cleaner who takes care of vacation rentals out at the beach, which is 30 minutes from here. And she offered to take care of it just for the cleaning fee, which would be great. Like, the Airbnb tenants or whatever will be paying the cleaning fee, and she'll just get it and take care of it. That said, I'm not going to have her do it yet. Not that I don't think she'd do a good job. She would knock it out of the park. But I have a full-time assistant / office manager named Tracy, and she's amazing. And she also was a house cleaner for a while. So we're going to do it together. Like, I'm going to manage the booking part. Tracy's going to do all the cleaning stuff. and turnover. And then once we get a system down that I feel good about and I understand it, then we'll hand it over. You know, it's kind of my philosophy with real estate investing, right? I'm a big believer in managing your own properties, if you can, first. Because then you know how it's done. You know what generally things cost, how it generally works. And then I can hand it over and I can feel comfortable knowing that it's being done right. So I'm a big believer in that. Malika said, yeah, I'm in Seattle, trying to figure out where in Washington you can find something for 15 grand. I mean, like, this is obviously a crazy good deal, right? 15 grand was cheap. However, it wasn't on the market, it wasn't listed, it needed a lot of work. I bought it sight unseen. In fact, I bought it with all I could see, I mean, I saw the outside, but I never saw the inside because it was a foreclosure. And so I bought it sight unseen, and it needed more work. I originally was hoping for 20 grand. We went 50% over our budget. So, anyway, so yeah, that's kind of cool. Zach said 3% roughly if it works as a short term, 2% as long term, not too shabby. Plus cash out refi potential. That's an outstanding deal. Great job. Thank you very much, Zach. Yeah, I mean, I love deals like this. So let's talk Burr strategy. This is one of my favorite strategies in the world. It's called the Burr strategy, and it's where you buy a property, you rehab it, you rent it out, you refinance it, and then you repeat it. So let me give you the numbers. I bought this for 15. I put 30 into it. Let's say 35, including everything. So we're at 50,000. I go to the bank and I say, hey, I got a property worth 75, 80 grand. I need 50 grand. The bank says, okay, we'll give you a loan for, I don't know, 50 grand, 45, whatever. I get all of my money back out. Right now I have only my own cash in this deal. I own this house free and clear. I get all my cash back out. Now I've got a mortgage of $400 a month or whatever. And then I can take my money and go do it again on another property. That's the Burr strategy, and I've used it more than anything else to build my rental portfolio. And the beautiful part about the Burr strategy is it means every property I get equity in it. Roughly 20 to 30% in every property. So if I can have, let's say, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in equity on every single property that I buy, how long does it take to get to $1 million equity, $2 million, $10 million? That's why I love the Burr strategy. Not that I'm a 10 millionaire, but is that a word, 10 millionaire? But the point is the same, right? Like, you can build up equity fairly quickly by doing the Burr strategy. You do 1, 2, 3 of those a year, and in a short time, you can build up a massive amount of equity. Especially if you're doing this in an area like Seattle. You buy a house for 300 grand, you put 100 grand into it, now you got 400 into it, but now it's not worth 400 because you were smart when you bought it, it's now worth 600, right? So basically you flipped it, but instead of taking your equity and paying all the realtor fees and closing costs and then massive taxes, you keep the equity in the property, you get your money back out, and you go do it again and again and again. And so if you're in an expensive area, Burr can be a fantastic way to invest in real estate. If you're in a cheap area like I am, it can be a fantastic way. All right, what other questions you guys have? Jeff said knock knock. Cool. Courtney said Airbnb calculator if it's successful. It's on the agenda. Kyle said high five, Brandon killer. Thanks. Let's see. Malika said thanks for giving Seattleites hope. Julia said how big is your portfolio? So I have 52 units right now. I had like 54, and then I sold a couple, and I'm hoping to sell a couple more. Actually, I'm hoping to sell one next week. Fingers crossed. That was kind of actually a fun deal. I bought it, okay, so let me tell you guys a quick story. So I bought this property let me go back. On December 20th, I was looking at my goals for the year, and I realized I had set a goal for buying 12 units last year. And I sat there and I added them all up, and I went, I only got 11. And I was really ticked off because this is the 20th of December. It's right before Christmas. Nobody's open anyway. Nobody's working. And I was like, I have 10 days to hit my goal. And I just not really thought too deeply about it. I never really added it up towards the end of the year. So anyway, I was like, shoot, I got 10 days. I can't do that. And then I thought, well, what if I did? What if I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go find a deal and I'm going to close out in the next 10 days. What if I set that as a goal for myself to do? And you know, I'm a big believer in whatever you set your mind towards, you can achieve that if you work it. So within 24 hours, I was sitting at a kitchen table with a lady signing a contract on her house to buy it. I bought her house for $50,000 even. I paid out $1,000 in closing costs and $1,000 commission to my assistant. I pay her $1,000 every time we buy a deal. And so I'm into the thing for 52. Now I could flip it and it's probably worth about 100 when I'm done with it. But it needs a fair amount of work, and I didn't really want to do a rehab, so you know what I did? I put it on the market just to see if I could sell it, and I got an offer within like 3 hours. I got an offer for $64,900, I think it was. And so I might, after realtor fees, I might make $6,000 on it. 6-7 grand, and then I'll have to pay taxes on it. So I'll actually like clear like 5, right? But I'm fine with that. I might make 15 if I flipped it, or 5 not doing anything. I'll take the 5 not doing anything because I don't want to do the rehab. Either way, it got me to my goal of 12, and I'm going for it. So, all right, let's see. Jesse said, got to give credit to you guys and Robert Kiyosaki getting me into real estate. I got to give credit to Robert. He got me into real estate. At least I read his book and BiggerPockets. So like I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I went and found BiggerPockets, and so like I got the mentality part, and I got excited about it from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I turned that to BiggerPockets and learned a lot about real estate from BP, which is awesome. Let's see. Brendan said, have you ever had an appraisal come in low on a Burr after the rehab, and the investor wanted all their equity back out, but you're short? What do you do? Good question. So the key to a Burr investment, if you're trying to do Burr investing, the key, of course, is getting your valuation high enough after it's all done to make sure you get your money back out, or most of the money back out. It has not happened to me yet where I didn't get the appraisal high enough. However, it's very possible. In fact, I'm doing a Burr right now on a fourplex that most likely I will run into that problem, because there's no other fourplexes for sale anywhere in my area that are nice. And I have a really nice one. I really fixed it up nice. So what do? Well, a couple options. One, I can probably get a 70% loan to value loan doing a refinance, which means I won't get all of my money out, but I'll at least get the investor's money out. I don't want to borrow too much from a private lender until unless I'm 100% confident on the ARV, which we never can be, right? So anyway, so there's that option. I will probably end up leaving a good like 30 grand of my own money in this deal, the fourplex that I bought, not this house, but the fourplex. Another option, I could bring in a partner. Be like, hey, you want 50% of this deal I'm working on? Partner with me and you bring the difference in the Burr thing. So you could do that option. But really, the reason it hasn't happened to me is because I'm very conservative on my after repair value. When I buy a property, I know about what it's going to be worth when it's done. Not just because I'm figured it out, but I talk to other people. I talk to my agent, I get examples from them. I look at the data, I look at the comps, and I try to get very, very comfortable in that. So I hope that helps there. Vishal Patel said, are you still mainly buying REO properties, and do you generally need all cash to do so? No, this was actually the only deal I've ever bought that was from the courthouse steps that I needed all cash for. Almost everything else I buy is either a foreclosure, like after the foreclosure process, in which case, no, you don't need all the cash, you can get a loan on that, or it has been from like a landlord who was burned out, tired, like my fourplex, that was from a landlord I sent a piece of direct mail marketing to. So that was that. Cool. Let's see. What other questions we got here? Let's see. John said, is that fourplex Burr the one for your daughter's college? Yes, for those who don't know that story, yeah, I bought a fourplex, and I'm going to put it on a 15-year mortgage whenever the refinance goes through. And it should cash flow almost $1,000 a month, which is awesome. It's all rented out now. It's all rehab. Now we're just waiting for the seasoning requirement to kick through, the 1-year seasoning requirement. And anyway, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to put on a 15-year mortgage. It'll pay off over the next 15 years, so tenants will pay off the mortgage. And then in 15 years, when my daughter is 16, she'll be getting ready for college, because she's super smart, right? So she's going to be going a little early. And that property will pay for her entire college education. It should be worth, conservatively, $250,000, but I would expect probably even higher than that, especially if inflation goes up. It might be worth $350, who knows? And that will be paid off free and clear. I can refinance it and cover her college education, and basically my tenants will be paying for her college education. I love it. All right. Jeremiah said, wish I could listen sitting at work, and I don't think my boss would approve of me trying to become financially free. Look, if you're at a job where your boss doesn't want you to become financially free, you should find a new boss. But yeah, we will put these later. As Zach said there, the BiggerPockets message, Zach who's running BP Social, said you can check this video out later as well. John said, what's a seasoning requirement? Good question. So when you buy a property, typically a bank will want to have you wait at least 6 months, if not 12. They like 12. Some banks will allow 6. Before you can refinance it. So if you're doing a Burr strategy, if you're doing the Burr strategy where you buy it and you rehab it and then you rent it out, before you can refi, you got to wait at least 6 months. So I'm waiting 12 on this one because this particular bank wants 12. I do a lot of stuff through Timberland Bank. There's a local Washington lender that I've used. Tom said, have you built any duplexes or fourplexes? I have not built anything ever. Other than I took a shed basically one time. It was like an old barber shop that was gutted completely, and I built a studio house out of it. And it's one of my favorite properties. I love it. But it basically, I mean, it was everything: electrical, plumbing. I mean, everything except for the exterior walls, like the siding and the roof. Everything else needed to be done. John said, nice, good to hear it's all rented and it's cash flowing good. $1,000 a month on 4 units is tremendous. Yeah, this was a tremendous deal, and here's why. It was a fourplex, but the beauty of this fourplex is that the tenants, all the water meters are separately metered, which means tenants pay their own water, their own sewer, their own garbage, their own electricity. So I'm responsible for taxes, insurance. There's a little bit of flood insurance on three of the units, long story there, which hopefully will be wiped out in the next year because they redrew the flood lines. Anyway. And I have to pay the mortgage, and that's about it. And then, of course, vacancy, repairs, capital expenditures. But ever since we put $100,000 into this property, and so we don't have a lot of repairs. So that's kind of nice. Melissa said, I have a 12-unit in a C neighborhood. Should I do carpet in the bedrooms or laminate throughout? You know, I still do a lot of carpet, even though I hate it. I'm trying to transition to laminate. In fact, actually, what I like more is this stuff. So this is called Allure vinyl plank flooring. It's from a company called Allure, I think, or something. Traffic Master maybe is the company, but Allure is the product. And it's basically, it's like laminate, except for it's rubber. And so it's water, I don't know if you can call it waterproof or water resistant, but it's water, like, proofish. So, like, you can have kids drop stuff on this or whatever, and it's super resilient. It holds up to a lot of cool stuff. I've put this in properties for years now. And it's a little more spendier, about $1.80 a square foot from Home Depot, but it lasts so long, and it's really fast and easy to put down. You don't need a special saw, you just cut it with a knife. Anybody can learn to put it in. So we put this in this entire property, if you notice this. The entire thing is all, there's one floor, and even the bathroom, going down the hallways. Because look, when this property goes vacant, you know, if I keep it as a vacation rental, which I probably will, every time they go out, I just mop the floors real quick. So, anyway, I like this stuff a lot. Hey, Lori Turner joined, my mom. What's up, Mom? Taryn said, have you ever done buy and hold using hard money? Sort of. I've used hard money to buy properties and then rehab them, rent them out, refinance them, and then repeat. So, in other words, I use the Burr strategy. I've used hard money. I don't like to. I like to use private money because hard money is just so expensive. Private money I find is a little bit cheaper. Glenn said, are you related to the ZZ Top guys? Yes, they are my brothers from very different mothers. So no, I'm not. Do you have any video of the fourplex you bought? Yeah, look on the Facebook page, BiggerPockets Facebook page. Go to videos. I think you'll find one there. I don't remember how to get there. Anyway, I wrote a blog post and I put a video on there once. Maybe go to Google and type in BiggerPockets and then type in how I bought a fourplex for $1 down. How I bought a fourplex for $1 down. And I go into really in-depth detail, and I think I put a video on there, but I can't remember for sure. Art said, are you really taller than Josh? You guys, if you want to see me and Josh together, go to our Facebook page. You're on it right now, probably, right? On BiggerPockets Facebook page. Watch the video that we put out about, 4 hours ago. It's me and Josh together, and we walk up to each other, actually. We walk up to each other, and he's like up to here on me. Like, it's kind of humorous. Make sure you guys watch that. But yes, I'm a little taller than Josh. I'm 6'5". So I think Josh is probably, 6 foot, maybe 5'11", somewhere in there. Chris said, do you pull permits on rehabs or just the big gut jobs? We do them on anything that requires a permit. So I'm good friends with the inspector in my area, and I'm pretty familiar with what needs it. So plumbing, electrical, we get permits on stuff like that. Flooring, we do not, because we don't need it in my area. Some areas do require flooring permits. Some areas require painting permits. We do not in our area. We don't require permits on a lot of stuff. Plumbing, electrical, foundation stuff, moving walls, all that. But just like tiling a bathroom, like this house, there was really nothing that we got a permit on. I think we pulled a permit on electrical for one thing, if I remember right. But most things don't require that. All right. Vishal said, can you start off doing a Burr strategy with a 203K loan? Yes, if you plan on living in the property. The 203K loan it's like, they should just rename it the Burr loan, because that's what it is. But you have to live in the property. So here's an amazing strategy for you guys who are just getting started. I love this strategy. You buy a property that you're gonna live in with a 203K loan, which means a 203K loan gives you the rehab money and the purchase price all lumped in together. And you only have to pay 3.5% down. So it's fantastic. So you buy a 4-unit, 3-unit, or 2-unit, but I like 4 units. Buy a 4-unit property that needs work. You live in 1 unit. You use a 203K loan, fix it all up. And then now you've got this, you don't even have to refinance it. You've got a 30-year fixed mortgage, low interest rate, low down payment on a killer good fourplex that you can move out of after a year and keep it for the rest of your life. What a great way to get started. Now, not every fourplex works. You have to do your math. But if you know how to do your math, you're going to be fine. If you don't know how to do real estate math, I want to invite you guys, come to my next webinar. I do a live webinar every single week on BiggerPockets. Go to BiggerPockets.com/webinar and come to a live webinar. And we walk through live deals every week. We analyze them, we determine what number makes sense, and then we look at a bunch of stuff about the deal. So if you're confused about that part, come to any webinar. We have a lot of fun every single Wednesday generally. All right. Lee and Teresa said, you never say hi to me. Hi, Lee and Teresa. You guys rock. Laura said, how do I keep from having to put 30% down? All right, I'll first say this. House hacking can be a good way, using an FHA loan or something like that. Another good way would be use a partner, have them bring the 30% down. Another way is if you have equity in another property, you can substitute your equity. Another way is the Burr strategy, using private money or hard money. Another way is private money. Another way is hard money. Another way is lease options. Another way is seller financing. Another way is wholesaling to get cash to put down on a property. There's lots of ways. If you want to know more about that, I wrote a book. It's called The Book on Investing in Real Estate with no and low money down. You can pick it up on Amazon for like 20 bucks. Or get it at BiggerPockets.com/no money and you get a bunch of bonuses with it. Or you can pirate it off of like some pirate site and then you don't have to give me anything for it. But whatever. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to do like a couple more questions and then I'm going to get out of here because my wife and I are going grocery shopping. Yay. Let me actually see if she's here. And for those just joining, let me kind of walk through the house again just to kind of see what I'm doing. I'll show you what it looks like outside. It's kind of a crummy day. Oh, she is here. There's my wife. She's waving. That's my truck. This is the neighborhood. We're right next to a park over there. And we got a couple nice houses next door. Like this house is actually identical next door. It's kind of funny. They built these two houses together. A little park over there. It's a very like just blue collar neighborhood. And I don't know. Again, I'm gonna go see if my little girl's in the car. Let me see. Don't mind my messy truck. Hold on. Hi. Hi, Goober. What's going on? Are you sleepy? This is Rosie. This is why I invest in real estate. Oh, look at her. She fell asleep while I was recording her. Yeah. There's my wife. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Anyway, so we're going to go do some grocery shopping. So let me do one more question. Let me shut this. Oh my gosh. You guys want to know how awesome my wife is? This is how awesome my wife is. She loves me. Well, let me see. So, questions. Do you like vacation rentals better than regular? I mean, this is really my first vacation rental, guys. This is the first rental property I ever did as a vacation rental, and I'm just testing it out. I have a feeling I'm going to like it a lot. In fact, you guys know Ben Leibovich? He's a investor, and he's a blogger on BiggerPockets. And anyway, he got his first vacation rental recently, and he loves it. He gets a ton, like he's got like booked out like a ton. And he's out in Arizona. If you guys want to Chandler, go stay with Ben. But yeah, he's on Airbnb and HomeAway. I'm going to do both Airbnb and HomeAway as well. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here because I got coffee to drink, I got grocery shopping to do, and a baby to go look at. So thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value of it. If you have not yet, give me a thumbs up or a heart. Please do so. In fact, even if you already did, give me more. Because the more hearts and the more thumbs up we get here, the more people like it. Another thing I'll say is come to the webinar this week, BiggerPockets.com/webinar. And if you are not yet following BiggerPockets here on Facebook, please do so. We do live videos at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. and I want to make sure you guys are there. So make sure you do that. There's also a way to like make sure that you guys see our stuff first. And maybe Zach will actually write that here in the chat area where to go, because I can't remember. We even have a link to a video on how to do that, I think. Anyway, just make sure that you see our content. Facebook likes to hide content because they want people to pay for it. And so anyway, thank you guys very much. Melissa said thanks, Brendan. Curtis said thanks, Brendan. Thank you guys. What's up, Cole? Thank you. Oh, Melissa said how many units do you have now? 52. And that's it. Thank you guys so much. I will see you later. Have a good day.